Lower gas prices have people happy, but what if we told you that the future of cars may depend on fryer oil? Hello, I'm Steve Graham.
And I'm Corey Meredith. Looking for plans this Valentine's Day or night? Well, look no further. We have all of this and more coming up.
Hello and welcome to LTV News, where we bring you everything LaSalle, Philadelphia, and global news.
We have a full show for you today. Student Mike Brown is in the studio to discuss his experience this past fall in the Disney College program.
And later, Madison Elliott brings you a debate panel on the Oscars. But first, let's get to some LaSalle news.
It's great to see LaSalle alumni do well for themselves, and it's even better when they give back to the school. Casey Feeney, a producer at Comcast Sportsnet, came to talk to students about his field and how they can get to where they want to be. Correspondent Madison Elliott has the full report. On January 27th, Casey Feeney, a former LaSalle alumnus and current coordinating producer for Comcast Sports, paid a visit back to LaSalle to talk to students about his success story and even gave a few tips about how we could get there ourselves.
How do I get there? For me, part of the thing is I couldn't be comfortable just pulling scripts. I'm like, all right, well, I'm here and I'm going to be the best script puller. You get lost in the shuffle.
Thanks.
One or two additional things beyond just what I'm doing that day. Can I sit in with you? Hey, I have this idea, and like, it was just sometimes it was as small as like, I have an idea for a full screen graphic. Made that decision. I worked that shift for like 18 months. Working from like 7:30 to 3:30 in the morning, our time. I did the regular PA stuff, but I also wrote highlights, edited packages, wrote packages, did feature stories. It isn't like anything that's foreign. They use different terminology in spots, and their equipment might be a little bit more expensive, but by and large, television is television. So if you can do 7 other things, it's a clear path to the one thing you want to do.
At the end, Feeney even let students ask insightful questions to further their knowledge about the industry.
I spent the final half inning literally 6 inches behind Harry Callis' head as he called the final out of the World Series.
What was your reaction to hearing him talk?
It's great. I mean, anytime you get a former student, class of '06, coming in, he's made a great name for himself now with Comcast Sportsnet. It's great to kind of find out where he is, how he got to where he is, and I mean, obviously, as a comm student, as a kid, a student aspiring to really become where he is, kind of find out how he got there.
LTV News reporter Madison Elliott got the opportunity to sit down and talk with Casey Feeney.
Well, one of the reasons I like it is that it's kind of different every day, but mostly I kind of help oversee our 10 o'clock and midnight newscast. So I'm kind of in the office somewhere around 2 o'clock, and I leave somewhere around 11:30, and I'm helping our producers figure out what should be in the shows every day, how to order it, and making sure that our stuff that's going on in the field, we're coordinating between the studio and the outside. So that's kind of what I do day to day in the broad picture. LaSalle TV meant a lot. Number one, it gave me the confidence that I could do it. And then more importantly, it kind of showed me all the different roles that are responsible for getting a TV show on the air. So I had the versatility to go out into the workplace and kind of say, hey, I can do a bunch of different things.
What would be your advice to any student trying to get into the field?
I'd say be patient, be persistent. Like I told the folks here today, the answer is always no if you don't ask the question. So don't be afraid to go out there, show your personality, and ask questions. And hopefully, I found that people have helped me along the way, and people typically want to help other people along the way.
Thanks, Madison. Staying on campus, one benefit of coming to LaSalle is access to tutoring support services. Offering tutors in over 80 subjects, LaSalle's program will ensure the best academic support for their students. Corey sat down with the Director of Student Services, Kitty Carr, to discuss the program and all it has to offer. Take a look.
On February 3rd, Kitty Carr, the Director of Tutoring and Support Services, hosted an information session to teach students about all of the different tutoring options LaSalle has to offer. The session consisted of the different types of tutoring, as well as how to sign up and what to expect from a tutoring session. All types of tutors and tutees attended to learn more about this helpful program. And then LTV News reporter Corey Meredith got to sit down with Carr and a subject tutor for more insight about what's to offer.
This time, we're looking for students I tutor a variety of subjects. I tutor elementary Spanish 101, 102, a nursing Spanish, Spanish 204, which is an upper level, a management class.
In order to apply, students have to fill out an application online, and they have to sign a waiver so that we have access to their transcript and understand the courses that they've taken and how they've done in those courses, as well as provide us with a faculty reference so that we can get a faculty member to speak on behalf of that student. Actually meet with their students through Grades First. Grades First is available to all students through their portal. Under the Tools tab, you'll see Grades First. And if you click on that, you'll see a screen that comes up that just tells you what courses you're taking. And right next to each course, it says Schedule a Tutor. If you click on that button, you can actually see the tutors who are available and when they're available. You can scroll through different dates and make an appointment with those tutors. And the tutors will meet you over at the library.
It depends how many people actually sign up to tutor with you. So since I've just started tutoring, because I was an SI last semester, I've gotten in a week about 3 to 5, and in the past 2 weeks about approximately 10 students.
What do you want to work on to that? And then we'll sit down. We usually have an appointment for about half an hour, during which time they kind of negotiate what they're going to work on, how they're going to work on it. They actually get down to business and do the work. And then they may decide to have a follow-up meeting, or usually the tutor will ask the students how they're going to follow up on the work that they've done that day. So they will walk out of there with an action plan.
Semester I actually did have a rewarding experience where one tutee came in and they actually said that somebody recommended it to me because they came to tutor with me.
The application deadline for signing up to become a tutor is February 13th. Kitty and Ariana explain why reaching out to tutors and being a tutor is so rewarding.
Definitely will impact when I go out into the workforce, because that really shows that I like to help people that were in the same position that I was when I was struggling, and it shows that I am up for anything. So if any voluntary job in the workforce appears, I would probably be the first one there.
Well, thank you for that report, Corey. We are now joined by Mike Brown, who has just returned to LaSalle after completing the Disney College program this past fall. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're back in freezing cold Pennsylvania, no longer the warm weather, and you got to spend your holiday season in Disney. Tell us a little bit about, your responsibilities. How was the internship?
It was awesome. So I was an intern with Disney Parks and Resorts in the college program, and my role specifically was in Magic Kingdom. I worked as a Jungle Cruise skipper, which is one of the attractions that opened with the park on opening day. And I worked at the attraction, and the attraction is basically a simulated riverboat tour through continents with animatronic animals, and we tell jokes. The whole thing is a farce. We tell jokes, puns, and it's a lot of fun. So we get to have that one-on-one guest interaction, giving a show 50 times a day, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. For me, it'd be ideal to be in Disney because I'm a huge Disney person. But if you had to pick one favorite memory, what would it be?
So there's a lot that goes into the program, but probably one of my favorite memories is there was this one night, it was really late, and there were like 5 people on the boat, and there was this one kid like bouncing off the walls. It's like 11 p.m. You can tell mom's tired, like all that good stuff. And I was like, all right, it's 11 p.m. Nothing's going on. So I kind of like deviated from the script and just like let the kid drive the boat at a certain point. And he was like loving it, and I was like pretending that he was going to crash the boat, like saying like, don't scrape the boat, like on the side of the temple wall, and we're like going through the river. And it was great, and he like loved it. I gave him a little guest skipper card, so he had his own license. It's a license to drive the boat and a license to drive his parents crazy. And the next day, it was a rough day. Not the greatest shows were going on. And at the end, the mom was actually on the boat, came back up, and was just like, I want to thank you so much for yesterday. My son's autistic, and he loved it, and he talks about it all the time. So that was like a really good personal moment for me.
It really sounds like a great experience. And now that, definitely something to put on the resume, where do you see yourself moving forward after this internship?
I'd like to apply for a professional internship with the company so I can work in any of the segments now that I've done the regular program. So I can go anywhere from ABC, ESPN, Parks and Resorts, Interactive, Consumer Products. So it gives me a good pathway to the Walt Disney Company.
Well, thank you again for joining us, Mike.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us, Mike. Well, we are going to take a quick break, but when we get back, make sure not to touch that dial. We are going to bring you up to date on what is happening in the city of brotherly love. Stay tuned.
Cyberbullying comes in many forms and can happen 24/7. If you or someone you know is a victim of cyberbullying, take preventative and assertive action. Keep evidence and document all instances. Remember to record dates, times, descriptions, and also save and print screenshots. Block your cyberbully and present your evidence to school officials or law enforcement. No one deserves to be a victim of cyberbullying, and together we can end it. For more information, visit stopbullying.com.
Welcome back. Now let's get to some Philly news. Do you have the need for speed? Thousands of people satisfied their craving for the hottest and newest automobiles at the 2015 Philly Auto Show, held at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Fans were in for a surplus of exotics, classics, and concept cars that are expected to be on the asphalt in the coming years. Quite possibly the biggest highlight was a car that was made right in our backyard. Students at the Workshop School in Philadelphia designed and built a blue convertible car that ran on biodiesel fuel from leftover fryer oil provided by Federal Donuts. Talk about recycling.
As we have come upon the month of love, you may be looking for a fun Valentine's Day idea. Some of the biggest couple attractions this year are right at your fingertips. The Blue Cross River Rink Winterfest is the newest hit this year, where you can ice skate along Penn's Landing and eat some delicious food catered by the Mexican cuisine Distritos. Want a more traditional route? Try the classic Love Park, the most seen destination for any couple. Maybe you are feeling more adventurous. For brave couples, you can climb to the top of the observation deck of City Hall and experience the breathtaking views. However, if you are feeling more reserved, why not check out the latest museum added to the parkway? The Barnes Foundation offers artwork from Impressionist to Post-Impressionist and is a must-see for anyone. Reporter Ryan Wall makes his LTV News debut by taking us to the streets of LaSalle to see what students have planned for their romantic occasion.
Hey LaSalle, I'm Ryan Wall here in the Student Union to find out what some students are planning on doing for their Valentine's Day with their Sweethearts Day. So do you guys have any special plans for this weekend?
Yes, we do.
We're going out to dinner, and then we're going to go to a concert.
So what do you guys, any big plans for this weekend?
Yeah, well, we're planning on going grocery shopping, getting some food for dinner, making dinner together, having a nice candlelit supper together. After that, taking a nice walk, maybe under the stars, and then coming back, watching a little movie, cuddling up, and then going to bed.
What was your first date like?
We went ice skating.
Ice skating in Center City, or?
It was rough.
It was rough. Was it cold and freezing? And
It was more like neither of us could stand up.
Oh, well, that always makes it interesting.
Yeah.
You fell together, but you rose together.
The first date he took me to this theater where it's it only plays one movie. It's really old fashioned. It's called the Highway Theater. So we went there and we saw this foreign movie, and then we went to the Drake Tavern afterwards and he paid for dinner and everything. It was really special. I didn't have a date like that until I met him.
That was just a small sampling of what these soulmates have planned for their romantic Valentine's Day weekend. From everyone here at LTV, happy Valentine's Day, LaSalle.
Thanks, Ryan. Perhaps the hottest spot for Valentine's Day, or any date for that matter, is the Center City sensation of Max Brenner's Chocolate Bar. Our news team had a chance to sit down and interview the staff and get a taste of their Valentine's Day special. Reporter Madison Elliott has more.
Hello there, I'm LTV News reporter Madison Elliott, and we are here at Max Brenner's, which is the hot spot for Valentine's Day this year, and we're going to show you exactly why. The Max Brenner Chocolate Restaurant opened its doors in July 2009, and ever since then, the location has increased revenues by 50%. They see anywhere from 100 to 900 people a day, with the biggest weekend being Valentine's Day. We had a chance to sit down with manager Katie to find out what's so sweet about this spot.
It will be very romantic. It's going to be a very romantic atmosphere. As you can see, we have the red lights and everything up, so it will be, we change all the tables around. It'll be very cozy, and people will really enjoy themselves. Valentine's Day right now we're pretty booked for the evening. We're looking at about 500 people so far, and then for the morning we've got about 400, so we should see a good over 1,000 people on Valentine's Day.
A big crowd like this demands something delicious, and they've created the perfect menu called Strawberry Love.
It's something that our executive chef created to kind of gear towards Valentine's Day. That's completely strawberry geared, strawberries and chocolate, which is, the kind of first love affair chocolate had was with strawberries. So it's a lot of whipped cream and decadence and chocolates and strawberries, ice cream. So
Katie here is going to show us how to make one of their signature items on their new Strawberry Love menu, a dark chocolate chunk waffle, correct? Strawberry waffle. So show us what you do.
So this is dark chocolate fondue that you drizzle on top.
Okay. Ooh, that looks delicious. course, the whipped cream, always
cream.
necessary. Do you make all your whipped cream here?
We do.
Oh, wow. That looks great. And the chocolate as well, is that made here on premise? Do you make any chocolate here on premise?
We make the fondue and the ganache here on premise,
Okay.
as well as any of the flavored chocolate fondues and ganaches we have. There you go. This is dark chocolate chunks on top.
Now that looks delicious. See if it tastes as good as it looks. This looks amazing.
A little
All right.
hard.
Mmm.
Very good.
Double thumbs up. Here I am sitting in the main dining room where the scene is set for romance. Whether it be for a first date, Valentine's Day, or rekindling that old flame, it's painless to get here as there's a parking lot right next door or right off the subway. And the food is delicious. As you can see, we destroyed this plate of the waffles with cream and ice cream.
When we're not running specials, we have a sharing fondue, and it comes with so many things to dip in chocolate. It's beautiful.
Sounds amazing.
And it's just something that it's so fun to bring. If you're stuck with the kids for the day, you can have the kids have something fun, and as well as just like have some chocolate.
So Katie's going to take us on a tour of Max Brenner's. So let's start.
So this is our chocolate shop that we have here at the restaurant, in the front of the restaurant. These were the love story bonbons that I was talking about.
Ooh, don't those look
So
great?
this is an 18-piece we have, and then we also have a 9-piece here. Are also currently featuring our bursting heart tin
Aw.
with our coconut candies inside.
It's basically Valentine's Day in here almost every day of the year.
Yeah, we try. Lovely gift sets here that are in our chocolate first aid boxes that people really take to, really love.
So know what's all in a chocolate first aid box?
This features our caramelized pecans and our caramelized hazelnuts. They're both rolled in a praline cream. We have a milk chocolate with espresso cube, as well as the bursting heart tin.
So this is definitely where you want to come if you need to get a Valentine's Day gift, and quick.
Absolutely.
A special thanks to Max Brenner for letting us come out and try their delicious food. For LTV News, I'm reporter Madison Elliott.
Thanks, Madison. That strawberry waffle was delicious. Well, that takes us out of Philly news and into world news. Who would have thought that a place where dreams come true would be the center of a measles outbreak? According to Los Angeles KNBC, it was reported by Disneyland officials that a visitor who toured the park in December is believed to be linked to at least 7 confirmed cases of measles throughout California and 2 in the states of Utah. The timeline of events continued as more reports of people infected with the measles disease increased by the day. According to the CDC, 90% of people who came in contact with an infected person will become infected themselves if they are not vaccinated. Doctors urge that you should get vaccinated.
Super Bowl 49 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks turned out to be the back-and-forth nail-biter that we all hoped for. The Seattle Seahawks had a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter. However, Patriots were able to mount a comeback behind Tom Brady, who threw 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to give the Pats the lead. Russell Wilson connected with Jermaine Kearse for a miraculous catch to put Seattle inside the Patriots' 10 with just under a minute remaining. Seattle was on New England's 1 when quarterback Russell Wilson dropped back and threw a pass that was intercepted by undrafted rookie Malcolm Butler. New England won the game 28-24. This marks the Patriots' first title in a decade and the 4th in the franchise's history.
Well, that just about wraps up our world news. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, Madison Elliott will be joined with LaSalle TV host of Backstage Pass, Brenna Devaney, who will give us the scoop on the Oscars, and Tommy McIntyre, WEXP's Movie Madness host. Don't move, we will be right back.
I'm Steve Graham, reporting for LTV News.
I'm Corey Meredith.
I'm reporter Madison Elliott.
Hello, I'm Brendan Rigney here.
And welcome to LTV News. Let's step back and take a look at the world. I'm here to tell you what's a buzz in Philadelphia.
Let's check it out.
It's an eclectic mix. I don't think that this tax is the way to do it.
We actually have a little celebration going on, and
I think it's a step in the right direction. I'm sitting down with my friend and fellow colleague for LaSalle TV, Jacob Smolinski.
We've got Miss Pinup, we've got Mr. Classy Designer.
Polarizing news reporter and political commentator Chris Matthews.
September 28th was a most auspicious day for the 52nd annual Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Finagling his way back into her life is Brendan Rigney, LTV charmer.
Alongside of me, SGA president and dear friend, Muffy Torres.
Groovy. Now let's talk fashion.
Reporter Steve Graham had the opportunity to cover the event.
The talent is evidently here.
Big plans.
So, I don't know, some really great things going on.
In LaSalle University's communication department, students learn to think and do.
Every semester, communication students create and implement public relations plans for local nonprofit organizations.
And journalism students produce Germantown Beat, an online news source for the local community.
It's great that we can apply what we learn in the classroom in our community.
Philadelphia is the nation's 4th largest media market and has 4 major sports teams.
Being in a major media market allows us to gain great professional experience through internships and co-ops.
The Communications Center is home to the university's cable station.
LaSalle TV reaches over 350,000 homes in Philadelphia and airs mostly student-produced programming.
Our communication department is ranked in the top 10 in North America for relational communication research.
But keeping with the tradition of the De La Salle Christian Brothers, teaching students comes first.
Think, do with LaSalle Communication. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Madison Elliott here, and with me today is Brenna Devaney and Tommy McIntyre. Thanks for joining us, guys. So it's great to have you here today. So let's talk Oscars. Let's talk movies. So who do you want to, like, what movies do you think you want to see win? Like Best Picture, all the categories. Let's get into it.
So I think this is a really hard year for movies because there are so many great ones that we've had out there. And the consensus now seems to be Birdman.
That's what I've heard too.
Right, it's won the SAG Award for Best Ensemble. It won Producers Guild Award, Directors Guild Award. I would really like to see Boyhood win.
I've heard that one too. It's stuck between the two.
Yeah, it's a really tough one, but my gut's going with Boyhood.
Boyhood? What do you think, Tommy?
Yeah, I agree with Brenna. I think it's a dual race right now between Birdman and Boyhood. I think Theory of Everything is kind of making a late push, kind of seeing between those three. But I don't know. I mean, the BAFTA Awards were just over the past weekend, and they were able to win. Boyhood was able to win. They took home like everything basically.
Oh, wow.
They took home Best Picture, they took home Best Director. Patricia Arquette, who plays the mother of the main character in the film, she won Best Supporting Actor at the awards.
Right.
So, I mean, it's tough. I mean, they've won at the Golden Globes, Boyhood. So my money is on Boyhood. If I was a betting man, I'm not. But I think Boyhood might take it.
And what do you think about Best Screenplay? Who do you think should take that?
That's a tough one too. I think in terms of adapted screenplay, I think Imitation Game has a really good chance, especially because it's not going to win any of the other categories. It's nominated for Best Picture or forget the other categories. But yeah, I think adapted screenplay has a great chance.
Yeah, adapted screenplay is kind of, I'm actually shocked because my pick before it was even going to be like announced the nominations was Gone Girl because I love Gone Girl, and that wasn't even nominated. So I was actually disappointed about that. So I'm not positive on that, but in terms of original screenplay, I don't know, maybe Foxcatcher might win. I really enjoyed Nightcrawler though, so that Nightcrawler's not really nominated for anything else, so if they win that, I'll be happy for that.
And let's talk about maybe Best Actors. So who do you guys think? I really like Bradley Cooper, and I would love to see him win, but mostly just because I like Bradley Cooper, so I'm biased. But what do you guys think?
I'm a big Bradley Cooper fan too, so I have to go with you on that. But I think Eddie Redmayne has a really great chance.
I really did hear, yeah. That's the prediction on IndieWire.com.
Right, yeah, because he won the Golden Globe, he won the SAG Award, and I think I did get a chance to see Theory of Everything, and his performance is just amazing. He plays Stephen Hawking, who had motor neuron disease, and he really looks like he has this disease in the film. His transformation is just incredible. So I think he really deserves it for that reason.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think Eddie Redmayne is probably the favorite right now, but if I haven't actually seen Theory of Everything, but I have seen Birdman, and Michael Keaton's the other guy. I think it's between those two because Michael Keaton was able to win comedy or musical at the Golden Globes, and then Eddie Redmayne was winning for Best Drama Acting Performance. So I think it's between those two. I think Eddie Redmayne will take it. Eddie Redmayne will take it because it looks like he just did an incredible job. But Michael Keaton, they like to give him a win. Obviously, Matthew McConaughey making a career resurgence, they might give it to him. So it's up in the air right there.
And since I mentioned Bradley Cooper, let's talk about American Sniper just a little bit. So there's been a lot of controversy behind the film, but one of the amazing things it did is it became the highest grossing war movie, surpassing Tom Hanks' Saving Private Ryan. So that's pretty impressive. But it's about like the struggles of veterans coming back from war, and people don't think he was portrayed correctly. What do you guys think about all this?
I did get a chance to see it, and I thought it was a really great movie because it doesn't, I know some people were saying, oh, maybe it kind of touches on the war issue too much, or maybe he's pro-war, but I think it really, like you mentioned, it's really about PTSD and just the struggles that these soldiers go through as they make that transition. Because he went from, I think he did 4 tours in Iraq, Afghanistan, and so making that transition from war to regular life.
And
I think
how many kills did that guy have? He's accredited with the most kills ever in U.S. history.
Right.
So, I mean, I can't imagine what he went through. I mean, what do you think, Tommy?
Yeah, I think a lot of the controversy is less about the film. I think a lot of people say that the film's a really good film. It shows the post-traumatic stress disorder in Bradley Cooper playing Chris Kyle. I think really it's just because they feel that Bradley Cooper, his performance is not really who Chris Kyle was. They say that Chris Kyle may have not been the man that the film's portraying it to be, and they're saying they're making him more of a hero than he actually was. And that's kind of the controversy. I don't think as much as the film is, except it's a real life story. So anytime you're basing it off a real life story, there's always a problem there in terms of what's fact and what's fiction.
That's true. That definitely makes it difficult. But and one last question, maybe best actress. Who are you guys thinking?
I think it's going to go to Julianne Moore. She
Yes.
played a woman who was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and she took home the Golden Globe, the SAG Award, the BAFTA. So I think she is the favorite going in. And I haven't seen the movie, but just watching clips of it, she's really believable.
She was
in
also
this
the
role.
prediction on IndieWire
Yes.
as well. And what about you?
Yeah, I
Tommy?
mean, she's been nominated for the Oscar, I believe, like 4 or 5. This might be her 5th Oscar,
Oh,
and she
wow.
hasn't won. And
Okay.
this is the performance. She's won everywhere else. I think they're
Yeah.
going to give it to her. She's playing a woman with Alzheimer's. I think she's going to win it. I'll be pretty surprised if she actually doesn't.
Okay, great. So thanks for getting with us, guys. It's great to have you here. So we're gonna head out. Be sure to find us on the web as well on the rest of LaSalle TV on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalle TV. You can tweet at us at LaSalle TV Philly or email us your thoughts at lasalletv@lasalle.edu. If you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/LaSalle56. Until next time, for Steve, Corey, and the entire LTV News crew, I'm Madison Elliott. Never stop exploring.